Mitch, can you hear me? Mitch. Can I get a Mitchy D in the house? Alright, Mitchy D might show up eventually. But, my name is Studio. This is the Recreational, the games industry Dota 2 league, and we've got Poutine King Bar going up against. They call themselves Daily Dota, but I believe they're better known as League of Legends. I hear Mitch. I hear some sort of audio thing from Mitch.
I think I'm kind of here. I think my Dota broke.
Oh wait, no, there you are. There you are.
I did it. We did it.
All right, we got Mitchy D, a member of Regular Dangerous who managed to defeat Nabi, the Quad City Dandies, yesterday. Which means that because you're past round one, you can now just make fun of these guys.
It's good because we actually play the winner of this series.
Oh, okay. So this is like just researching strats then.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, now. Poutine King Bar, I don't know a whole lot about them. They're Canadian. Maybe you have a deeper connection, but I haven't really been able to watch them play much. But League of Legends, you've played with them before, right? You play with the guys, not as a team, like with all of them together, but you know what the team's like, right? Hello, hello?
They have some.
Dire team pick.
Seem to be having some issues, but I was gonna go into my description of Daily Dota, which is
Please do.
It's kind of like a galaxy. So you have the center of the galaxy. That center is gonna be crispy, and then I was gonna say you have like planets, but then I don't even know if they're really planets. You can have like meteors and space debris and the rest of the team. Crispy's really, really good at this game, especially in comparison to a lot of people in this tournament. A lot of people on League of Legends are relatively new to the game, to be kind to them, and in other things, it's just, they play with Crispy a lot, so their playstyle is kind of developed to be watch Crispy do really cool things, and then other stuff might go horribly, horribly wrong for the team. Now I get to see if audio is messed up because of the 2-minute delay. Hopefully it's alright. This should be a pretty fun match at a minimum because teams respond to Crispy in really odd ways. You can look at the bans already. Tinker, Ember Spirit. They're banning out Crispy. They're just gonna try and go through every Crispy hero possible. But the thing is, Crispy has a bunch of stuff up his sleeve. He is that guy who will do the gimmicky mid pick, but he also does a lot of the standard stuff. He plays a lot of Dota. So if they just focus on Crispy bans, I think they're gonna give comfort picks to the rest of League of Legends. Crispy will get a hero that he's at least okay with, and it can all go horribly, horribly wrong. I actually like to see people ban out either Ruds, who is Brad Shoemaker, like get rid of like Wraith King and Luna, and he's just all of a sudden everything gets really, really scary for him. Get rid of Line for Matt Bodega, and then you can really kind of negate a lot of the team. But Crispy's the focus. They're gonna ban out all his heroes. He's gonna last pick something that is really, really odd, like I don't know, Jakiro. And we'll see how it goes from there.
I just can't believe they let Legends have the Sand King pick.
I can see it, just because Reflexy plays a lot of Sand King, but do they know he plays a lot of Sand King? Do they know that that's his favorite guy?
10
I mean,
seconds
he had made a
remaining.
pretty fantastic YouTube video about it. I would assume that that's his most. Maybe his profile's private. Maybe they didn't look into it.
Done.
Can I look at his profile? I can't look at his profile here. Let's look at it. Why not? Come on, is it your most played? Yeah, it is. All right, I thought so. Reflexy plays a lot of Sand King. At the same time, people get so scared of Crispy that they really just kind of forget about the other players on his team. And I say this because it's not the first time I've seen it happen. Like I've been in scrims with him, and they just ban out Crispy, and then he plays something stupid, and it works out because everyone else gets their picks.
Yeah, Crispy's obviously the guy. Thing is, Crispy knows what he's doing. A lot of characters can't ban everything. Other team members, Pascal knows what he's doing. Flexi knows what. Kessler knows what.
Yeah, it's kind of. I'd say it's a downhill. It's a scale of knowing what they're doing. If they get a hero where they know what they're doing, then yeah, just the knowing what you're doing. Like I really think that if you get the support out from underneath Crispy, he can fall apart himself, if he doesn't have a team to back him up. He can carry hard, but he can't carry everybody on his own. Maybe with a
Sure, if
Tinker
you can
pick.
force him in.
Yeah, sorry. It looks like Dota TV is kind of lagging.
Dire team pick.
As for Poutine King Bar, so far they seem to be doing okay in the picks and bans. They've got the beginning of TI4, Brewmaster and Razor, solid combination. You can stick Razor mid lane and he shouldn't lose to really anybody, especially if he goes for a static link build. He may not beat everybody, but he'll be fine. And this is super TI4.
They're going for the TI4 build.
TI4 is really funny.
Going to an Ancient Apparition.
Yeah, like let's get Ancient Apparition and then
Tyreth Mage.
there we go. Well, we need like the safe lane hard carry. Faceless Void is banned out, so someone has to replace him. Let's go for a
You have
Wraith
to know
King.
the League of Legends.
Yeah, but
They recognize exactly what they're doing.
yep. Well, like
10 seconds.
League of Legends
remaining.
is totally aware that they're not good at TI4 meta, and that's been the
5
case for like a
seconds
bunch of matches where
remaining.
one team that is not newbie or VG will try and play
Reserve time.
like newbie or VG, and then they will lose because once again they are still not newbie or VG. So
Reserve time.
teams are picking up like they're trying to pick up
Dire team
all of the strategy
pick.
instead of just aspects of it, and it really kind of bites them in the butt because if they make a small mistake with these all-in lineups early on, they just get trashed. Like the game ends at the 30-minute mark because the other team with a late game hard carry is just kind of outscaling them and they haven't applied pressure. So it'll be interesting. I don't actually know how well PKB scales in that regard. Like, do they follow TI4 meta to the T? I
10
guess we'll find out in
seconds
the next two
remaining.
picks.
5 seconds remaining.
If Mitch is quiet, I can try and turn him up.
Yeah, I turned myself up.
You're like cutting out at the end of your sentences. I'm not sure what that is.
Crushing.
Oh, lower your open mic threshold, and then turn yourself up somewhere.
Radiant team pick.
Yeah.
Now, Eventual Spirit being picked up. Okay, so we've got a mid, we've got an offlaner. We'll see what they use to finish off this tri-lane. If they are going for tri-lane strats, I'd say it's kind of expected. They can have Brewmaster sit off in a side lane. He may not get a lot of farm, but he can hit level 6 reliably, or they can try and
10
go for
seconds
Brewmaster
remaining.
mid a safe lane Razor, and then a different offlaner that's a little bit less
Seconds remaining.
normal for that strategy to kind of bust out like that. But in the end, this is a pretty standard
Reserve
team.
time.
Their mid game presence is really dangerous. Vengeful Spirit will have a decent, I'd say more so defensive ult. But if she catches someone out, Shadow Shaman, Razor, and Brewmaster all have amazing follow up. Essentially, if one person can get caught out, that could easily translate into 2 towers being taken as early as like the 15-16 minute mark. As for League of Legends, we haven't really talked about their pick sets that much. They're actually, that's kind of interesting. They have both Centaur, Warrunner, and Clockwork. Normally, you'd expect Centaur to be kind of on the off lane on his own, just hanging out, soaking up experience. Same thing for Clockwork. As Centaur, his necessary item build is essentially a Tranquil Boots and a Blink Dagger. Clockwork, his necessary item build is just a Force Staff and a Blade Mail. They can get away with not having a whole lot. That Jakiro is probably for the mid lane. It could be for Matt
that'll
Bodega,
definitely
though.
be a crispy mid lane.
I was gonna say maybe Matt, because Matt does play Jakiro himself. I've seen him bust
Okay.
out into the Lion.
10
Yeah, I think League of Legends has a lot of really
remaining.
good ways to close the gaps. Jakiro obviously not known for his blink,
5
doesn't really have any.
seconds
He's really
remaining.
slow, but everyone else is they're typically capable of speeding along and closing gaps and
Reserve
blinking and
time.
burrow striking.
Yeah, they have like a lot of ways to be really forward and aggressive. I'm just scared that if they fall behind, then they're gonna just totally fall apart.
Radiant team.
Luckily, Jakiro isn't too item dependent. Like that's the case. They don't need items for really anybody.
Dire
But
team
they're gonna reach a point where like they might have 1 or 2 people with blinks. Actually, Sand King Centaur should have the 2 blinks on their team, so they'll have like 2 blinks. They can get in, start a fight, and if they don't get perfect CC, they might just fall apart and die. At the same time, if they get perfect CC, or if they get just, you know, 2 or 3 people caught in a stun chain, especially if it's someone important, you have Sand King ultimate, Centaur with double edge, Clockwork just getting someone off to
10
the side.
seconds
Jakiro can follow up
remaining.
really easily, even without macro pyre. You can just use Ice Path. That's enough. That's enough CC to get Centaur close to doing the double edge.
Radiant team
Gyro, alright. I think I like that pick. Gyro hasn't been all that common
Yeah, it's
from
an
the...
interesting one.
Yeah, it's short range, but because you'll have so much AoE, and he's gonna get jumped on. He's gonna get attacked and just kind of closed in on by the heavy melee lineup from League of Legends. Like his Q will do a ton of damage. He will get quite a bit of a
10
AoE
seconds
from his
remaining.
flag cannon. Like the gyrocopter pick, as long as he doesn't die,
5
he does a million
seconds
damage.
remaining.
I'm just not
Reserve
entirely
time.
convinced he can go toe-to-toe with Centaur or Clockwork, or really Sand King. If Sand King can keep his blink on point, he's going to be able to get in, get out, and not really have to worry too much about Gyro's flag.
Yeah, you know, Gyro's weird because he really is just such a squishy champion in his low range, but he's got so much utility to back that up that I think as long as they don't get crushed in lane, which should not happen unless
10
something goes
seconds
terribly
remaining.
wrong. Like I don't know how terribly wrong it would have to
5
go.
seconds.
They should do okay. And there we go. So the Jakiro pick actually for Matt Bodega and Crispy going straight for the Invoker. Definitely one of his, I'd say, top heroes. And I really love watching the loading screen as characters all freak out when it loads in. So let's get the most important thing up. Fantasy points.
Prepare for battle.
Alright, how do you feel about announcers? I don't know if Death Prophet is cutting it.
I think you should call it out. Turn announcers off. You just have to cover that while casting.
Yeah, just announce everything. I think it's a
every
mega
single
kill.
thing.
I haven't been keeping track. Just the maybe mega kill. Alright. Now, as for the early lanes, early startups, I don't expect too much aggression. PKB could spunk up, roam in, and try and catch someone out. They'd be really reliant on Vengeful Spirit getting that early stun though, because they just don't have enough range on anybody else to catch someone unless they, you know, go around a corner at the right time. As for League of Legends, I mean, they're barely leaving their base. I don't think they're gonna do a whole lot level 1. I would love to see someone go aggressive, go for a kill, but it's scary to do.
It really looked like they were going to go out and start venturing alone, and it looks like everyone's just kind of posturing at their base, waiting for the creeps.
Yep. Let's go ahead exploring some of the scenery. We do have one person, Olive Juice, covering the rune. Actually, I should go ahead and introduce the players, introduce the teams. So,
Indeed.
for League of Legends... Oh my god, that was really loud. Okay, I might have to adjust my sound effects. I am sorry, because people are about to get their ears blown out.
The battle begins.
Unfortunately, this is...
Oh, Crispy's pinging his jungle.
Hopefully this doesn't turn you down. Keep talking. Mitch, say stuff.
I can say stuff for you.
Okay,
so
okay, so-
while Studio's changing his settings, well, on League of Legends we have on the Clockwork, we have Pascal. He's taking the top lane, yeah, his top lane. Crispy's taking mid as Invoker, classic Crispy Invoker. His Invoker is something else. I'm actually really excited to see this mid lineup with Crispy and Invoker. At the bottom has a tri-lane. We have Ruds on the Centaur Warrunner. We have Reflexy on the Sand King, of course, and Matt Bodega on the Jakiro.
And for Poutine King Bar, we got, oh man, that's rough. That's a rough name to pronounce. Brichnikov. Okay. All right, Brichnikov. I can actually do that. On the Brewmaster, Olive Juice, aka I love you when you try and say it and just look and read the lips on the Vengeful Spirit. Mac on the Razor. Demons on the Shadow Shaman, and Warshop on, well, Gyrocopter. Something made in a Warshop. Feels appropriate. Stun in the bot lane though. Brichnikov gonna go head to head.
That might be
Dance this one out.
First blood I've seen in the whole tournament. There it is, minute and 10 seconds.
That's the earliest first blood. The tri-lane with 3 stuns is really effective at getting kills. Top lane, you can see the tri-lane with 2 stuns right now. Doesn't have the Vengeful, not able to really pressure out Clockwork. Unfortunately, I couldn't see how that started out, but it looks like they just kind of walked at him, which when you have Ice Path, Hoof Stomp, and Sand King stun as well, like it's not a hard kill to secure, and unfortunately Brewmaster does not have any good escape skills. Until he picks up his ultimate.
He's picking up the Invis rune in top there. He's gonna rotate down and see if he can make something happen in mid with his Razor here on Crispy.
They didn't have vision on that rune either, so they don't know where Vengeful Spirit is. Crispy should be aware that VS hasn't been around in lane for a while, and you can see him playing far back, hanging out by the tower. And unfortunately, VS got the rune at the same time that Mac got a lot of pressure and a lot of damage on Crispy, which it's good for his lane. It's bad for the actual VS gank because now Crispy doesn't even want to approach Razor. So that's a little unfortunate in that he won his lane so hard, Crispy can't do anything, and so he can't actually get caught out.
Looks like Clockwork's about to get caught out of position here pretty hard. If he doesn't retreat now, he's gonna get shut down.
Oh, stack the stuns! They stacked him! They should be able to pick up this kill though.
He's locked in there. He's gonna go down for sure.
That was unfortunate. The second Shadow Shaman started that out. Yeah, like the second Shadow Shaman started out the channel, out came the Vengeful Spirit stun. So both offlaners getting their butts kicked. That's kind of expected with how strong these tri-lanes are. We had some pretty janky tri-lanes yesterday, or at least that we've seen. And these are just really solid, I'm gonna kill you tri-lanes. All three of them have stuns on every single character. Like Gyrocopter was able to get the homing missile onto Clockwork, fastball going down quite easily for that. So like you can see these teams are really looking out for the kills. They're really looking to actually do stuff early. Which Mitch, no offense, you guys were not, and that was the worst thing in the world. You guys just hated aggression.
No, we were absolutely not.
But you had Medusa, so it made sense.
We're a super pro team. We know exactly what we're doing all the time.
Using the China meta from TI2. with Medusa. Though the Medusa pick was awesome, so I'll give you that.
No, we do love Brian's Medusa.
Okay. I mean, I want to see how quickly teams start roaming against each other. Like, Crispy and Mac are both relatively killable. Crispy's going to need a lot more backup than Mac will just because of the early game presence of Plasma Field and Static Link.
Sure.
But they can really start picking up these kills fast. However, the supports have to actually get levels. Only level 2 for Olive Juice. Demon's level 3 himself. And a car is being stolen somewhere in San Francisco right now, isn't it?
That's in the background of me. Everybody, you're welcome for that.
But the thing is, Poutine King Bar is not actually pulling. They're not really getting too much experience on Vengeful Spirit. It's all just kind of being divvied out from the lane creeps. Look over the side, they've actually done a little bit for League of Legends, but they're actually less leveled themselves, unfortunately. However, this does mean that Centaur Warrunner, level 4, doing quite well himself. As he gets pressured out with the Blue Master that died at level 1.
Oh yeah, League of Legends going for the smoke here.
You're going for the smoke, they have the haste. This should be a relatively easy kill. There's a possibility of TPs coming to defend Razor, but I don't think anybody's actually ready. Like, no TP on Shadow Shaman, no TP on Vengeful Spirit. They just don't have the mana pool right now to support one. Sure. Haste should not last for, like, it's already gone. Sand King does get revealed as Mac.
Sand King gets exposed.
Yeah. Just kind of walks around in light. That wasn't even looking for him. That was just kind of casually backing on out, and he catches the smoke to the side. So that's unfortunate.
Going for a stroll. Just a Sand Scorpion hanging out.
Alright, pings onto the rune area.
Spawning in the river.
Say pings onto the rune area. They knew that 3 to 4 people were in that area, so Vengeful Spirit not walking towards it. Ward coverage so far for both teams, it's the standard level 1 stuff. Like, let's cover the runes. I think the next set of wards could be huge if they're actually going to try and convert it into a lot of ganks, into a lot of pressure. Like, for example, Pasquale, if he can get himself a little bit more defensive with his own ward coverage, that would be really lovely for him.
Yeah, he's going to need that protection up top there.
Denied.
See, mid lane, Crispy, he's doing okay. He's got more CS than Razor, so hey, that's a pretty good start. He's taking a lot of pressure, but Invoker with that really, really nice edge HP regeneration is just sustaining quite nicely in lane. You gotta love a good old-fashioned cross build.
Looks like they're gonna start to pull in the creep still. Crispy, or sorry, Reflexing going for his stacks. Grinding out his XP in the jungle. Still level 2.
Yeah, they're not getting any experience. Like, they got that kill. I guess it wasn't really a double stack pull. I could have sworn they pulled, and they've gotten nothing for it so far. Brishnikov is doing quite okay in the bot lane. Level 5. He's essentially made up for dying. He's not doing super effectively. His top lane, Haagen-Dazs. Pasquale. Sponsored by Haagen-Dazs. We'll be going.
Naturally. Reflexi's roaming mid. Looks like he's gonna go try and take down the Razor with Crispy here. See if he can make something happen a little better than he did with the smoke.
I mean, they do have Cold Snap. They can keep him in place for a bit, but the problem really is that there is decent ward coverage. Vengeful Spirit's also in the area. I think Vengeful might uncover him. They're going to walk into each other. Reflexy is Oh, that's an invisible rune. I thought it was a, I thought it was a smoke for a second. Like, wow, that's a really good
No,
smoke.
it's his invisible. He picked it up from the.
They have to know. They have to know something's up. Olive Juice should be getting bursted down quite quickly. Crispy taking a lot of damage himself, though. Has a Forward Spirit out. Centaur ult will keep him safe. In comes the Ice Path. Mac, can he just walk on out of this? It is a Razor. He is relatively mobile. Pops the ultimate as he walks on out. Shadow Shaman gets a great nuke, but no mana for the chain. And well, Reflexy, safe to the side. 1 kill. A good pickup by League of Legends.
He couldn't stand toe to toe with that Razor Q.
Yeah. He had to really just walk on out as quickly as possible as one more Q, which unfortunately just not enough mana right now for Razor. Would have picked him on up. Like, you think there would have been something a little bit suspect about Invoker running straight at Vengeful Spirit like that, but unfortunately, invisibility runes are really hard to predict. Like, there's a few things you can look out for. Like, let's say if you're moving and all of a sudden you're impeded for no reason, something's probably invisible near you. So you get used to this for playing versus Lycanthrope, actually. Because all of a sudden it's like, wait, why can't I? Oh, wolves are hitting me. As for that play, you know, they got him out. They got Crispy a little bit more space. He's doing really well on farm. If they can just make sure he doesn't get pressured, get roamed on, Crispy's going to transition quite well. Already has it hand to Midas.
Not bad at 8
Radiant's
minutes.
bottom tower is under attack.
Look at overall gold. It's quite even. Experience, I'd say a little bit in favor, just a tiny bit in favor of PKB. Both teams are holding their own. Who's going to transition more into mid game? I'm not too sure. I really like the Gyrocopter build, but Gyrocopter is quite squishy, and there's a lot of really good AoE pickup potential. You know, with the Clockwork, Sunstrike. If we do see an early blink come out onto Brad playing that Centaur, then Clockwork is going to be just so easily exposed. Looks like there could be a roam towards Vengeful Spirit. He'll Blink Dagger and finish, unfortunately, on anybody in the game so far. Clockwork himself is level 6, so he could try and roam from the top lane, but just trying to soak up experience whenever possible. Shadow Shaman, looking off to the side, could just walk at him. And with the really high burst damage of both Gyrocopter and Shadow Shaman, they could very easily pick up this kill. Especially if he walks to the side like that. Alright, he's going to need to get some good cog jukes. Just kind of walks into Shadow Shaman, though. He doesn't have enough mana for the chain. In comes the rocket. Come on, give us some flack. He doesn't have enough mana, actually. Hagen does. I mean, Pasquale might just make it out of there just because no mana on the gyro. In comes Crispy for the cleanup. And this Shadow Shaman, not long for the world. Sunstrike does pick him up. Clockwork ultimate on the War Shop. Going for the turnaround, goes for the TP out just as it... Oh, man. That almost worked. I mean, it was a Clockwork that almost never works, but was just as... I cannot remember the names of any of his skills. The Battery Assault finished. I play Clockwork, but I just don't remember the names of the skills.
Down the bottom, he pops his ultimate. Reflexy, Matt Bodega trying to take on the Brewmaster here with Ruds. It did not go well. He's popping the ultimate. They're all just trying to get away as safely as possible back towards their tower.
Here's the problem. Brewmaster's about to pop out, and he's just kind of stuck out there. Gets a good burst and a crit, though, so... Reflexy just has to walk on up. Vengeful Spirit come out from the side, though. Not enough mana for another Thunderclap on Brewmaster, so Matt Bodega might just be good enough. One more auto attack will do it. They get the Wave of Terror. There we go.
There he goes. And he gets the crit just to make to rub salt in the wound.
Now, Brishnikov very, very low on HP. Reflexy does not have a stun available on Sand King, so he'll just walk on out of there. And that's a big pickup, by the way, top lane. Gyrocopter's been farming quite well. Took quite a bit of gold off of him. And more importantly, it was like Crispy's first roam, so now he's getting more gold, getting more experience. He's doing quite well compared to Razor. Like, looking over at net worth, he's at 4.4k. This is kind of the Crispy play you expect from League of Legends, where he will very easily and quickly kind of take the lead of a game. Now, he does need the backup of his team, but the rest of League of Legends is doing pretty well. Maybe not Matt Bodega, who actually has less gold than when you start the game, in terms of net worth at least.
No, it's important that he tried.
He's got consumables. That stuff's worthwhile, even if it doesn't contribute to net worth. But yeah, you can see like mid lane now.
Pretty hard support. He and Crispy both, or Reflexy both.
Reflexy should hopefully transition towards getting a Blink Dagger early, but that leaves Jakiro to be very, very broke. In the top lane, Pasquale's also been having a lot of trouble. Bot lane, we can see the Master taking quite low. Rudd pops the ultimate though, and just, they walk out of the danger. This could be a turnaround fight, but Mac, a little bit scary with the ultimate. The Storm very, very dangerous to fight into, and they're just going to walk away from this. And so far, this has been a really good ultimate usage by Brad. Like, he's casting Stampede. He's just using it defensively. They're not going full offense for it because so far they haven't needed it for the offense. It's all been about running away from Brewmaster or running away from Razor. They could try and use it to secure some kills, but it is on cooldown. Damon's taking a lot of damage in the mid lane, and they'll actually use the cold snap damage from creep attacks will keep Crispy alive for a few more seconds. A couple auto attacks will pick up the kill though, and that's a big kill. That's Crispy going down. That is Gyrocopter picking up the kill, so he gets all 500 gold. I mean, they do lose Shadow Shaman in the process, but I mean, he's a Shadow Shaman. He didn't even have his ult up. Not really that important pushing this tower right now, so it's not really a big loss.
Yeah, PKB's been taking advantage of these fights. You know, when team fights are breaking out somewhere else, they're gonna come into the area somewhere else. Mid top, they're gonna knock down a tower while people are occupied somewhere else.
In comes Reflex, he just goes straight into the fight. Takes a lot of damage, all of it AoE pretty much. They don't have any detection though inside of PKB, so he will be fun. It's been fast EP responses. Like if you think about the big plays, it's usually been either a really good gank on top lane on Pac-12 from PKB, or a lot of just TP and defend who's in danger. You see that pretty often in pro play. In lower levels though, TPs are a lot harder to come by quite often. I will say Crispy did at least get the kill, so that's something. Cold Snap onto a Shadow Shaman being attacked by a creep was just enough. Had that creep not been attacking, Shadow Shaman would have not died, because he would have successfully got the tether and just kept it chaining. Unfortunate for him, but hey, that is the wonderful world of Invoker. At least, like, I'm so happy Cold Snap got nerfed way back when in terms of damage, because I play bad characters that lose to Invoker quite easily. 5 to 4 overall gold should be in favor of PKB. They have that global tower gold. One is from a deny, so at least League of Legends was able to deny some of that gold. But in terms of overall experience, they should be a little bit ahead as well, which is kind of dangerous considering the fact that Crispy does have Hand of Midas, but I don't know if he's used it that much on jungle camps. I want to say no.
Than I was expecting, and a lot more tame as well. Not a ton of team fights breaking out. When they do, it tends to only be 1 or 2 kills every time. So it's actually kind of a lot more restrained than I was expecting for these two teams.
I think League of Legends is going to run into the problem very quickly where they just don't have a lot of beef in their front line. Like, they have to be winning a fight right now. Because Reflexy doesn't have a lot of levels, doesn't have a lot of HP. It's only level 4. Like, they have been going too hard on the roam as both supports in League of Legends are only level 4. Vengeful Spirit's level 5. Like, they've got a lot of experience on a couple people, but the actual supports are pretty weak. Like, Sand King still has a good stun, but Burrow Strike needs that range. Like, Burrow Strike's not good at early levels. At 450 range, it's so hard to actually get in and secure that stun. And then in terms of just overall gold, Clockwork actually gets taken out top lane in the 1v1 versus Gyrocopter. Back to how underleveled Reflexy is now. Unfortunately, could not catch that kill.
Do you think that's by design? Do you think they're deliberately underleveling him to make sure that everyone else can get the farm, to make sure he gets enough just to buy wards and other utility items?
I don't think so, because
he's really not going for his blink as
yeah,
as I expected.
He's not really doing anything, unfortunately. Like, he's roaming around a lot, but like there's a lot of downtime, and that's when he needs to be killing camps. He has level 2 Sandstorm. Level 2 Sandstorm, you can kill pretty much any camp except this one quite easily. Bot lane, we can see everybody grouped up. Vengeful Spirit, I think, is buying a TP for the bot lane. Blink out and away from the fight. Damon's being initiated on, a lot of damage coming out. Should pick him out quite easily. Against the wards, that could be enough to turn this around. Reflexy already going down. Ruds in the ward area, going to be taken down as Master Ward is just very, very bursty. Matt Bodega being run down. Is there enough to protect him? Not quite. Unfortunately, Crispy just didn't have enough available. A cooldown on Invoke too long this early on in the game. And they walked towards the fight. Did Brad blink away from the fight and stun?
Man, you were asking the wrong guy for specific team
fights. I want to say that Brad unfortunately just didn't connect the stun for some reason. Like, it looked like off to the side, but they
as soon as those wards went down, League of Legends couldn't really do much. They knew
yeah.
it was not going to go their way.
TP in from Reflexy. In comes Crispy with the nuke. They have a lot of damage here. Oh, Crispy getting blown up though. Gyrocopter taking it to town. Pasquale needs one more nuke pretty much. Does pick up the Brewmaster. But unfortunately, Baryshnikov, though he is dead, his team will dance with the corpse of Pasquale. So,
a valiant effort, but definitely not worth the trade.
Yeah. I mean, if there was a spree going on, maybe, but actually maybe for the experience, it's worth it, just because he is doing pretty weak in that regard. And that team fight, they went forward. They could not kill the Shadow Shaman in time. And with Shadow Shaman not dead, he gets the wards out. And alright, they've spent so much time dedicated to a support that in the end, he dies. He gets his spells out. It's not worth anything. They're going for a Roche here. And I love going for Roches, but they're not doing too hot.
They're not really strong enough to take it down that fast.
They can kill it for sure if they want to go full on speedy kill. They can blow Mass Serpent Wards, but as it stood, they were just not doing very hot there. Just a little bit too squishy. The Wave of Terror is only level 2 right now. Yeah, so a higher Wave of Terror would make it a lot faster, but they were also kind of low from that last fight as well. I think the clicking, I think, might be a Dota TV thing. We'll try and hopefully get that fixed in the future. I hear like a clicking sound. Yeah, I think it might be from your mic, but I'm not positive.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It's like steadily getting faster and faster. It's actually kind of funny.
Oh man, it's kind of ominous.
Let's see. What is the next plan for League of Legends? They really need level 6 on their supports. Okay, Jakiro maybe not. Jakiro's got macro power, whatever. That's an okay spell. It's good damage, but it's not impressive at level 6. They need.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're mostly just retreating into their jungle. They're trying to get as much farm as possible for Crispy and for Orange here for Jakiro, maybe. Wow,
see, this is what I'm worried about. Like Crispy's doing fine. He's second most net worth in the game. He obviously needs more farm just because he's Invoker. You want to keep him scaling up, but his team needs it so much more than he does. They need to be playing more greedy, in my opinion. They need to be actively picking up farm just because, I mean, Reflex, he's level 5. I'm just going to keep enforcing this fact. This is Sand King. Sand King really needs level 6, really needs level 7 just for the stun range, and he's not getting anything. And actually, he goes for an extra point in Sandstorm just to farm up some more, but he's not able to actually get to that many camps.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, in 18 minutes, he still doesn't have his epicenter, so when he TPs into fights and he's trying to get that AoE damage, he's not going to get the epicenter up. He's not going to be able to crowd control there, make the other team scatter. It looked like PKB was going to try to take that top tower.
Is under attack.
They're going to try and take this bottom Crispy instead, though he immediately pops a Ghost Walk. They don't have detection, it seems, so he'll just walk on out of there A-okay. And that forces 2 TPs defensively. It stops that top push. Because they were going to get that tower. Without Crispy there, even if he had TP, just with Mass Serpent Wards, it's a very easy tower to take. Like, they're a strong push lineup once they actually go for that push. Crispy slowly walking away. Dodges out the Thunderclap with a last second Force Staff. Personal Cop unfortunately couldn't get quite close enough. I think it would have connected had he blinked in a little bit closer. But just it's a tough thing to land, especially when it was relatively blind. We can see a good smoke. Oh! Oh! They're gonna catch out Olive Juice anyways. Should go down. Can he get enough time for backup though? Raids are coming to the side. Demons as well. Gets the Mass Serpent Wards down. They pick up the VS. In comes Ruds with the ult. But a channeled tether onto Brad Shoemaker takes him down in the end. So it's still a 1-for-1. Long cooldowns are used. Mass Serpent Ward is down. As well as looks like Brewmaster's also got popped. They're gonna catch out Crispy though. He should have Ghost Walk available. Pops at the last second, dodges out the stun. Do they have detection? No, but they don't need it to take out the 2-1-headed dragon. That is Matt Bodega. Rest in peace, Matt Bodega. You died so quickly that Warshop actually clicked his stun onto a creep. Just try to click it onto him right after. And this is not good. This is really not good for League of Legends. Fantastic for PKB. We're just gonna kind of walk
PKB
right
has
now.
No reason to stop right now. With these two down, with the carry down, and with Jakiro down, they don't have any means of stopping them at this point. Everyone has to go back and kind of lick their wounds. But as it stands, looks like League of Legends is finally going to start coming back out of the base.
I'll take a moment to appreciate the League of Legends logo, as actually TPs do come in, so they're going to try and hold this. They do have everybody up. No Brewmaster ult, no Master Serpent Ward. Stun does connect onto Clockwork to the side though. Olive Juice on his own. I'd say to sacrifice Olive Juice. This isn't worth a fight. Yeah, alright. The Vengeful Spirit, a little bit too aggressive, a little bit too on her own. But yeah, picking the Vengeful Spirit's nice and all, but that's not picking up towers, that's not picking up the hard farming carry. Let's check out items. I haven't really checked those out in a while. Crispy's got the Force Staff hand at minus, we've seen that in action. He's okay defensively, especially with his fast Ghost Walks, but he doesn't have massive damage yet. He doesn't have a huge team fight contribution. Ruds hasn't really gotten much since the Blink Dagger Tranquil Boots combo, so not really haven't hold on all that much. Push on a mid lane though. Put away these items for now. Can they actually secure this? I mean, all right, Reflex, he's level 6. He almost is level 7.
Reflex, you finally did it.
Like, he has his ultimate, and it's such a big ultimate, but you know, it's not going to be as useful now. Just because Drums is finished onto Gyrocopter, he's going to be a little bit tankier. Razor, does he have the mech? Yeah, he has the mech. So, okay, his ultimate's not going to be totally negated by that mech, but I'd say in terms of his presence, in terms of his fights... What did Brad ult?
I'm not entirely sure. Oh. That was totally accidental. That's fantastic.
Alright, it's not the longest cooldown for the Tar War Runner. So go at like 90
Nah,
seconds?
he'll be alright.
Yeah. Level 2 ult, 75 seconds. Wait, no, actually that was a level 1 ult. He just leveled in between casting that ultimate. And unfortunately the ultimate would be huge because Jakiro has a visibility rune, and they're going on to Brishnikov. They might be able to burst him down. No, but the stun just not long enough. He gets the ultimate off, turning it around now. Reflexy just in the middle of everybody. He is like super dead. That is a super dead Reflexy. I don't really know what else to say because he was in that fight when I thought everybody else had already backed on out. So they sacrificed the Sand King, but it does keep Crispy alive, does keep Mapotega alive. The thing is, they get nothing, and now the push is on. They've been very quick about responses over on PKB, and I never want to say this because I feel if this ever does happen, it's going to backfire. They can start saving their ultimates in fights. Like, alright, Barichnikov, that was a great ultimate response. Had he stayed, might have gotten bursted down. But they can probably start saving that Serpent Ward for these engagements just because once their team is grouped up as 5, League of Legends has nothing. And I say saving those Mass Serpent Wards for tower pushes would be nice. You can see Barichnikov taken quite low, actually, at about half HP. But he will be A-okay. Right off to the side, that will really secure a whole lot. Top lane does have Clockwork pushing out on his own. Could try and 1v1 Olive Juice, who's just running at him. And now Olive Juice on his own with a Sunstrike to clean that up. No idea what the plan was there. Clockwork could 1v1...
He's been sitting here in the top lane for so long, unable to do anything about this tower.
Well, like, Vengeful just ran at him and died.
Yeah,
Crispy...
No chance.
Crispy could be caught out here. Does have Invoke. Well, we have a Ghost Walk available. You can see Poutine Bar looking for him. But he does use the Force Staff out. We'll be fine. Yeah, that was a hell of a play from Vengeful Spirit. Olive Juice, I know your team's doing well, but Vengeful Spirit's actually is a tanky hero. Vengeful Spirit does build up quite well. But you're not that tanky yet. You can't 1v1 the Clockwork, because very few heroes could at this point. Especially when Clockwork has 4 levels on you. And an Invoker on his
You can look
team.
at the difference in the XP earned. The XP graph shows a fairly sharp
This is going to be gross, isn't it? Oh,
It's
that's pretty gross. And what's a goal difference
Poor
as
League of
well?
Legends.
7,500. That's a goal difference with Crispy having a Midas. So, like, that is unfortunate to say the least. Crispy now caught on his own. Can they get a stun onto him? Out comes a rocket. Won't be destroyed by invisibility, I believe. So they should be able to at least eventually hit him with something. But it looks like a good Cogs will protect Crispy. He's gonna walk into the rocket himself. They don't have detection for him quite yet. Like, dude, have they been carrying any detection? Like, I haven't seen too many dusts. They do have a Sentry Ward onto Olive Juice. So they have a way to catch out Crispy. But they need to buy their dust. They need to actually catch Invoker. I'm surprised. They've been pretty good about so many things this game, but detection in terms of dust of appearance for catching out Crispy has just not been on anybody. I think, you know, you put that on Barichnikov. He's Brewmaster with a blink. He will catch up to Crispy quite easily. They really need to actually secure some kills onto Crispy. Then again, he doesn't really matter that much. He doesn't do quite enough. Initiation under the tower. Rud taking a lot of damage from the Pandas. In comes Pascal to the side, though. Mech does keep the Pandas alive for a few more seconds. They pick up Gyrocopter in the Cogs. Reflexing with a great ultimate, picking up Razor off to the side. This could be the turnaround. 2 down for both sides. Razor able to just kind of walk out of the fight. Crispy chasing him down. Olive Juice does not have mana for a stun, but Brishnikov does blink in with the Thunderclap. Ghost Walk going to be just enough. He can try and turn this around just because Razor is so low, but he's able to walk on out. Put the Sentry Ward down. Put the Sentry Ward down. It's 3 for 2. They take out that top tower. It was almost a turnaround fight. A good strike comes out from Crispy, hoping to catch anybody, but unfortunately, even that was a huge fight for them. That was a great fight. They got a good ultimate from Sand King. They took out Gyrocopter so quickly in that fight, but they just don't have enough. Their front line is so squishy. they have no items on anybody but Crispy, pretty much. Like, look at Brad. He almost had. All right, Brad. I will say this: if you're gonna go for the the cloak build, get the cloak before or for a. I can't remember. I cannot remember items. But if you're gonna build anything out of a cloak, build the cloak first. Just because you need that magic resist.
Don't worry about it.
Like, the ring of regen is not doing anything, and the cloak's not that much more expensive. But like they just don't have anybody with any items besides Crispy. And Crispy, because he went for a Midas build, which is solid on Invoker, he does get the levels quite quickly. A lot of his gold isn't doing that much right now. Like, you compare his effective fight value versus a Gyrocopter. Gyrocopter's got BKB, he's got drums, he's got the Dominator, a lot more direct utility in a fight. The Hand of Midas is nice for Crispy, but it's not gonna turn around a fight. It's not gonna be a BKB. It's not gonna be a creep building up stacks to the side. Actually, though, it is similar to it. Really, they need more gold in everybody.
Reflexy here. Reflexy and Bodega looking for a gank here in this jungle. Not really finding anybody.
I don't know who they would kill anyways, just because they don't have Reflexy's ultimate up. I guess Macropyre is available, but if you look at their build, they're not really locking anybody down for that long. They have the stuff from Sand King.
Probably trying to catch Olive Juice out. Olive Juice is the one that I think most anybody on that team could take down on their own. Certainly those two could probably at least lock her down. And
oh, Reflexy gets to the high ground. If they don't have detection, he'll be okay, but they know he's there. It will TP out. The stun will connect, though. They know he's up there. Swamp comes out from Olive Juice. That's actually a really, like, Olive Juice is now stuck. Do they have a 4-staff on their team? Let's check. No.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It's a really...
Dire's structure
no 4-staff, no blink.
Like, there's nothing here. Like,
And she's not holding a TP. They're gonna go buy her a TP from the side shop.
yeah.
They have to.
They actually lose a tower for that because... like, what is she gonna do? Like, she can't TP out of there.
Courier and have it drop it off here.
Yeah.
They have to.
Well, they could use Panda with a blink. Just send in Brewmaster,
Yeah.
blink in, blink out. But, like, that's...
The courier is on the way.
oh my god. And now... oh man, I thought Pasquale might have gone for her. I heard the flare come out, I'm like, is he gonna rotate towards that? And Olive Juice, stuck on the ridge, finally escapes from... It's dumb. That's so dumb.
No, that was the best.
Okay, that was amazing. That was a great play. You know, and they did secure the kill on Sand King with that. I understand the reasoning. Like, we got to get the kill. We got to get this ASAP. And it made sense. It was just one of those, like, that reaction might have been a bit too quick. They could have had Panda go up there with a blink. They could have just tried to burst him off to the side. But had they waited too long, Reflexy would have had the stun available again. Could have burst right on out of there. So I get the play. All right, it was solid in the end, but man, was it weird. Once again, Brad Shoemaker has ulted nothing.
Around this illusion.
Oh.
Oh,
that's
so much.
That's actually really depressing. Damn. Damn.
He's still chasing him. He just realized.
I gotta say, Matt won for an interesting build. He won for the Liquid Fire build on Jakiro, and that's a really good build if you're able to stay in lane a lot. You know, Liquid Fire it's actually a great ability in terms of damage. It's 150 for free every 4 seconds. The attack speed slows phenomenal. The problem is he's not
able to push too many towers to make use of it.
Yeah, he can't push too many towers, and he's also he's not surviving in fights to actually get the spell off multiple times. Like, Jakiro is not a beefy guy, or guys, and because of the fact that, like, he needs to get that out non-stop pretty much to be effective in team fights, because Ice Path is lasting what, a 1.2 seconds. Like, it's 1.4. So his stun is not that good. Macropyre damage isn't phenomenal. The slow is okay on Dual Breath, but Liquid Fire just isn't doing enough for him right now. Like, he's just not too valuable to his team. He's got an okay stun,
Looks like
and
PKB is
that's
coming
it.
from this tower. They're definitely going to force a team fight here. They're just going to push it right now.
Crispy's going full rat, based off the amount of detection has been bought by PKB. This is totally fine. But come on, guys, you really need some dust. Pick it up. You will kill Crispy if you buy some dust. But they're still taking out the towers. They're going for just, you know, I'd say very, very safe pushes. Nothing too dedicated, nothing too all in. Like, they're blowing Mass Serpent wards and just not trying to stay afterwards. Like, they could have held the wards, gone for tier 3. They could have gone for tier 3 afterwards. Ultimate does get used onto Vengeful Spirit in the mid lane. In comes the Sunstrike. All of you should get bursted down quickly, but Pascal might They might get stopped by Demons, but Demons a little bit too late, and
Save for the
unfortunately,
cause.
Sunstrike and Battery Assault, it's going to be really hard for Vengeful to ever survive that combo.
Take a look at Gyrocopter right now. He's holding 5,000 gold, 5,700 gold. He's going into the secret shop and not picking anything up. I've got to be curious what he's saving for.
Rapier? Oh, he spent money.
I love that so much, Studio.
He's going for an Eagle Song. I was about to say,
Okay,
like, let's go straight Rapier. It's a great item on Gyrocopter, man. 300 damage with Flat Cannon, spread out all over the place. But unfortunately, not Pit going for that bad item build. Our team's ahead. Let's buy a Rapier.
BKB. Man, I want a Rapier in this tournament as soon as possible.
It could definitely happen now. With actually, hey, but if you keep picking Medusa, she is a good Rapier holder. I'd say Rapier is almost core on Medusa.
Shh, giving away all our sweet strats.
I don't think Rapier Medusa is a sweet strat. People are going like, oh, they're gonna build Rapier on Medusa. We have to stop this somehow. Oh, come on, get one. Burst the Cob! Oh, it doesn't get any money. Actually, Crispy denies one of the Forge Spirits with either Forge Spirit. A pro play, a small play, does deny some gold, does waste some time. It's something. Is it huge? No, but it's fun to watch. So everybody grouped up from both
starting
sides.
to catch on, or League of Legends starting to catch on to PKBs. They're always roaming together in groups like this. They're always very tightly knit. League of Legends starting to actually respond and do the same thing. They've been scattered for most of the match, but now they're actually starting to roam together through the jungle. Still just jungling though, not really looking to pick off a fight.
Yeah, they're grouped together, but not really doing anything. They're gonna try and catch up Vengeful Spirit here, it seems. But if they catch up Vengeful Spirit, they're catching her out into everybody. Like they're grouping up to try and fight off League of Legends. But their problem is that, well, League of Legends can't fight them. Like they have a lot of AOE, but just based off their play so far, they just don't have quite enough. Ultimate from Clockwork does miss as Brewmaster will actually initiate himself. Bat Bodega being bursted down so quickly. In comes the Gyrocopter ultimate. Lots of AoE being tossed about by League of Legends, but no one being picked up so far. Crispy off to the side. Will be bursted down. Needs a Ghost Walk out of there. Needs to walk on out of there. 3 down now. Looks like he will be A-OK because once again, detection just not a thing for PKB. That was a fast fight. That was a quick fight. They actually went okay for PKB. They got their AoE off, they got the Sand King ultimate off. Magma Power wasn't used, but essentially they kept that fight clumped up enough to burst down some targets. But that's a brave play.
Nobody there to help him. I don't know what he's doing there.
He just wants to give some beer. I think he was actually trying to bait out Crispy. Like maybe Crispy would do something stupid. But unfortunately, Crispy just yeah, he was off to the side checking to see if he would be going for that play. That would be a hell of a Roche, like a half HP Brewmaster with no backup. 34 minutes in, soloing Roche, no lifesteal whatsoever. Well, actually, he does have the Vladimirs, so maybe if he gets lucky. But yeah, that was an okay fight from League of Legends in terms of experience. They actually should have about equal. So they lost a little bit of gold in that fight. They at least kept experience even. So that means more levels for Reflexy, more levels for Matt. Like Reflexy now level 11, Matt now level 9. So they're almost at level 4 stun or level 4 Ice Path. So yeah, so Reflexy's now useful. He was useful before, but like he's proven he can actually do stuff in fights. Like they needed that Sand King ultimate. They needed that to actually come close to doing as well as they did that fight. We can now see all five members of PKB hanging out in the Roche pit. Just gonna try and beat this guy down. They have Wave of Terror. They do have the Amulet as well on Vengeful Spirit, so they definitely can take him down quite quickly. He's got 1,000 HP, so he'll be going down right away. Any follow-up? Are they gonna try and fight this? Would not recommend it. Going to the Roche pit after the team already has their Aegis, usually a bad idea, especially if they get good initiation. Both sides getting a good blink off. Who's burst down? BS already dead. Vrishnikov gets the ultimate off. Will be fine. Just is popped, and they take out Brad off to the side. The Panda's trying to fight 3v3, it seems. 3 Pandas on their own. Crispy and Pascal will back on out as they do pick off Matt Bodega to the side. That was the supports went in, but you know I don't think Reflexy had the ultimate yet. The ultimate spell was not available, and in the end, they couldn't do anything. That's something that you see so often, teams trying to stop the Roche, but they arrive too late. So the response is they now have to fight into a team that has not lost that much HP with an Aegis, with Roche already dead and all that golden experience already hitting to that team. Tier 3 being pushed in now. Master Reward's not available using that last fight, of course, but it should be taken down to about either 200 HP and Fort or Glyph. Yeah, now they can try and defend this. They do have 5 members strong in League of Legends. Pasquale has the ultimate, but they're just going to go ahead, sacrifice the tower, but do keep the Rax alive at least. Crispy going off, he gets a tornado. Fortunately, Pascal tried to connect the tornado, or his ultimate, onto somebody who was tornadoed. Shadow Shaman will ring off to the side. They will be picking up Gyrocopter, but he does have the Aegis map, but it goes down one more time off to the side. Crispy trying to take out Barishnikov. Barishnikov just sitting in the fight though. Crispy has the BKB activated, trying to fight Warshop now, just doesn't have enough damage. His DPS is high, but it's not high enough on his own. In comes Warshop off to the side. A good forcep does keep him alive, but one more attack and the rocket will be enough. Let's watch Crispy Vision. Let's watch Crispy Vision. Alright, he's gonna make it. Had he not made it to the 330, had he not made it to his base though, would have gone down. It was pretty close, taking him low. If he'd stayed brave with his Ghost Walk, he would have most certainly died. And, I mean, then try and fight it off. They don't get the initiation they need, and it's not enough. Reflexy couldn't get into the fight quickly enough. He tried to get an early ult, had to actually ult. He ulted, then blinked, then stunned, so by the time he actually got into the fight, did not have a whole lot going for him. And of course, Gyrocopter with the Aegis and the Butterfly now. Like, it's just so hard for them to kill him. Especially with the double life, just because once the magic damage is expelled, once they've casted their big ultimates, they don't have a whole lot. Brad has to stay in range as Centaur, which is not necessarily the easiest thing. Crispy is really auto-attack based. Like, yeah, there's the combos, but right now a lot of his damage is coming out from Exhort and his auto-attacks with the heavy attack speed from Hand and Midas and Ags. So he's not really able to do a lot versus Gyro. You can see that when Gyro just ran away from him, dodged most of his attacks, and took almost no damage. This is unfortunate, man. I had that one fight where it really came out even. Well, it was 4 for 3, but it was even-ish compared to the other fights at least. And
yeah, this really hasn't been their game. They, the TI4 composition on PKB is actually working out really well against the Stranger lineup on League of Legends.
It's a League of Legends lineup, I'd say. It's how they play, but they spent so much of the early game just giving gold to Crispy and not really accomplishing a lot on the support side that their team just fell overall behind. And then there was also that win engagement bot lane where it looks like Brad did actually end up blinking backwards into nothing. Crispy pushing this tower top, no glyph available, does have Ghost Wall in a couple seconds, so it should be fine. Come on, just buy some dust. Buy some I really want you to buy some dust. They do catch him out. He leaves a Ghost Walk. Sunstrike comes out, uses the BKB, gets taken out off to the side. This is terrible now. Peta walks straight into the cogs. They're just going to push in top now. Crispy does have buyback available. Has about 4k gold in his stash, so he's saving it for the big item, but also trying to save up and have buyback. And he might have to bust it out now because 60 seconds with no Crispy. They still have Master Rewards. They still have Panda ult, though he does not have mana for it. It's kind of taken up naturally. Really, this is a very, very easy push for PKB if he does not buy back. I think buyback might be enough to save them. Hopefully they overcommit, maybe. Mana boots are used. It looks like Brewmaster will have enough for at least a Thunderclap. Actually, he'll have enough for a Thunderclap and his ultimate as the pair of mana boots get used. They do have Reflexy off to the side. Gets a good ultimate. Gets it onto 3. In comes the buyback. Sunstrike might be enough. All of these being taken off to the side. It's just Brad on his own, though, in the middle of everybody. Reflexy's already casted everything he could. A good Shackle saves Mental Spirit off to the side. Pasquale gets taken out, and Crispy, before he can even get to the fight, his team is already dead. VS is picked off. Crispy just kind of ran towards her. The only really viable target. Another set of Rax does get taken out. In comes a Meatball, taking down Barishnikov pretty low. Gets a Thunderclap off. Matt Whittingham might be able to pick him out. Will he tick? He won't tick down. And Crispy,
I guess so, yeah.
once again, left all on his own.
Hell if I know, man.
Hell if he knows. Hell if he knows. Oh, in comes another Sunstrike. Can it pick off? Nope.
You did call it.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunate, it looks like we do have the eggs finished on Razor as well, so these up on Rax and Tower will be going down incredibly quickly. Crispy can try and defend this, but the second those Rax goes down, essentially GG. Barishnikov taken down low, will be going down, it seems. He pops a Ghost Walk, is dusted, so he's not going to escape out of this, but they don't need to kill him. That they can just take out these Rax, and it looks like that's what PKB is going to do. They take this game. Brad Shoemaker and the rest of League of Legends had a good run. But looks like this game will be ending game 2. Should be starting relatively soon. They're going to try and fight this out for as long as possible, though. Go for the death push, go for the kills. Warshop is boned. That's the only way to describe this. He is super dead. But Megas, man. What do you do against the Megas? They don't have a normal carry that can easily clear these out. So they're going to be stuck in base trying to fight this for as long as possible. PKB, if they want to be extra safe, they can go ahead and take Roche, which should be up in a couple of minutes. A decently fast Roche. Very lucky for them. Not the earliest possible. So,
best case scenario for League of Legends, I mean, they can sit in here, clean out their base for 20 more minutes, get the farm, wait out for a nice team fight, and then try and push as far ahead as possible, but I just don't see it happening.
yeah, like, actually, that might be the earliest Roche possible. Green Clucks. And yeah, they don't have a way to stay alive in base, really. Like, Reflex is going to have to spam out the Sandstorm just to push back waves. Like, they'll have ways to hold, but they're going to take a lot of damage themselves. They're never going to be in good fighting shape. And that's one of the big things about Megas. Like, A, you can't leave your base. B, if you don't have a good way to deal with them, like, you can usually hold off. You can do okay. But it means that the second the enemy team walks into your base, like, what do? You roll over and die. Like, they are holding. Liquid Fire, the attack speed slow is going to be huge in keeping their base alive. Crispy's got a great auto attack, did about 260 a hit. Double Edge does have a decent amount of wave clear if you catch all the melees. But, like, bit by bit, they're kind of falling apart.
Yeah, and the XP and gold graph is it just shows what an enormous divide League of Legends has to cross to really come back from this.
And plus, they can't even keep their buildings alive. Being whomped on by creeps. You can see the rest of PKB. They're hanging out in a certain area, looking for a certain spawn. I wonder if they're waiting for Roche to pop back up. Unsubtle in their plans, but they don't need to be subtle anymore, just because they are so far ahead. Let's look at the gold graph one more time. 25,000 lead. Let's look at the experience graph. Alright, a little bit lower. That kill on a gyrocopter evened it out a bit, but it's still about 17,500. You look at completed items. There's a whole lot finished. Demons has Blink, Force Staff, Ags. Ags finished on 3 heroes now for PKB. BKB finished on Razor. They're just going to walk in. They actually pop the wards. Pop the Drunken Haze onto Crispy so he can't auto-attack. Pascal goes in, Pascal goes out. The fight started, a good stun will land onto, looks like Mac maybe, but it's Brad in front of everybody. And they can't actually get everybody into the fight because they're so 1 HP. And that's gonna be all she wrote. Crispy off to the side, will be enjoying his time in the air. There goes the Ancient. And that is game 1 finished between League of Legends and PKB. How do you feel about that game, Mitch?
I feel like League of Legends might have to change up its tactics in terms of what it's going to play. You know, you mentioned it was a very, very League of Legends team, and we saw a more traditional lineup from PKB. League of Legends has to be looking at that and wondering what it can do to respond next game. They've got to be thinking about a more traditional lineup.
I'd say they could go more traditional, but I feel like they just kind of... They got very nervous about the early game. And then the second their team really didn't pick up in the early game, they didn't have momentum. They didn't have the big scale ultimates. They didn't have they have a great rush in team, and they didn't have that rush in possibility.
Yeah, out of the gate, I mean, PKB just had the gold advantage, they had the XP advantage, they were going out, they were getting all the farm they needed. League of Legends was trying, but it looked like they were splitting it all way too much in their jungle, and it just kept Crispy, Reflexy behind. This is the 4th time I've done that. Kept Reflexy, kept Jakiro behind, and it just wasn't enough to get the characters the items they needed.
Alright, well, game 2, things can change in between games. We've already had some series go to 3 games, which in a tournament, you never know what's going to happen during the first round, so there's some possibilities.
Yes.
I want to see the turnaround. Crispy did go for the Refresher build, which is incredibly high burst damage. You want to be level 25 for it, but unfortunately we couldn't really see a whole lot coming out from that. If he does get Refresher again, hopefully we see a good combo or two. But with that, let's go ahead and take a quick break as we set up the next game. This is the Rektreational. We'll be back with game 2 between League of Legends and Poutine.